Hey, to you, welcome back. Today we will talk about vertical scaling. I guess it will be a short video, it will be easy video since vertical scaling is not a complicated topic. So we will talk today about the fastest way to handle more traffic and actually the fastest way and the easiest way to scale your system. So in this video, I guess in 6 minutes, we will talk about what is vertical scaling, which is aka scale up. Also, you will learn when it shines and when it fails. So let's start. First, let's talk about the definition. So let's take the pen because I guess we need it. So vertical scaling means just boosting a single node's resources like CPU, CPU sockets, RAM, like adding more CPU, adding more RAM. So if we have a small machine, we just add more resource to this machine. So we will make it bigger and that's it. So if this machine can handle, for example, 2 requests per second, so we add vertical scaling, we add more resources. So for example, we can handle 5 requests and this is called scaling. Okay, it's easy. It's not hard at all. It's really easy. We just add more resources and that's it. And we scaled. But do we have a real world example for this? I guess we have. Like for example, AWS RDS pump use vertical scaling. So for example, if you have a Postgres instance, you can upgrade, I guess, from the version called db.t3, which is medium, to db rg6, which is basically a large one. And the memcache, also memcache use the vertical scaling. So cache, when cache hit ratio fine, but the CPU is big, we move basically for another tier. For example, C7G, I guess. As I remember, it's C7G. Also, it's using in-game server tick rate. So if you have like if the MMO shared needed a higher single thread pref, everything will be swapped to 5GH, 5 hertz. So yeah, it's there is a lot of actually other real world example of using vertical scaling. Especially if we're talking like you find also vertical scaling used in the pattern of auto scaling group. This will be in different videos. Today we're just only talking about vertical scaling. Okay, since we did talk about the definition, we did talk about some real world examples, we need to talk about the pros and cons. The first thing, it's simple. It's really simple. The first thing in the pros, of course. Next thing, it has low latency. Since we have one machine and we upgrade this machine to make it bigger, so the client will still send to this machine, no problem whatsoever. On the other hand, if you have like horizontal scaling, so you have multiple machines, basically you will need, for example, a load balancer to distribute the load between all of them. For all of that takes more latency. Can I delete this? Because I guess yeah. So we have pretty low latency because we only have one server to send a request and get a response from. Also, it's really faster to implement. Basically, it's a minute in the cloud. If you try to upgrade your EC2 instance, it's just like seconds it's updated. Okay, what are the problems? First, we have a hard limits. There are some physical limits, like you cannot upgrade your system endlessly. There are some physical limit for that. And also you have what we call a single point of failure. And a single point of failure means here, basically if your system basically is rely on one server. And if this server goes off, your entire system is not accessible at all. So you have a single point of failure. And also there is a cost curve. Since you upgrading your machine, I guess higher machine will cost more, will cost really more. Okay, we might talk about some best practices. You can use like hot plug versus reboot. You can use like cloud flavors that supports online resizing or schedule maintenance windows. In Amdahl's law, basically you can parallelizable workloads. Eventually, you hit diminishing returns. Know the math. You need to know the math about that. Also, we have a license costs. You need to understand that some DBs charge per core, and which is scaling up equals a bigger bill. And you have some cloud limits because, for example, EC2 I guess has its own limit. For example, like G7 C7G. I guess this is the biggest one that they have. And yeah, I guess there is not. Sorry. I guess there is nothing more than that to talk about. We might talk about some interview lighting round. So you need to talk about some talking points. Like if your interviewer talks about scaling opportunity or scaling option, and you have vertical scaling in mind, you can do like that. First, I would vertically scale the master DB quick. It will quick win with minimal code. Once I approach the largest instance, I introduce read replica or sharding, mention downtime strategy and monitoring thresholds, and I guess the interviewer will love what you're talking about. So that's it for this video, and see you in the future.